Morning. I have had lots of requests on my breakfast burritos from people who say mine are just different from everybody's. I know there's 1,000 different breakfast burritos on YouTube, but I'm going to show you how I do it. Pretty simple. I'm going to start with making some hash browns, and I'm going to put some sausage in there, a little bit of bacon, some scrambled eggs, jalapeno, onion, cheese. I think I mentioned sausage, I don't know. But we need to prep our stuff, and to get started with this, spices. Salt, pepper, a little cumin, or as my friends would say, comino, and a little bit of cayenne. So while we're prepping our stuff, we need to get our pans heating up. You always want to start off with hot pans. So we're going to dice a little onion here. I already had a little bit diced up from something else I was making, but I'm going to do a little more. I put onion in just about everything. Alright, that's plenty of onion. And we've already got our potatoes shredded up. They've already been rinsed down. I'm just trying to get them as dry as possible right now. We're going to slice up 1 or 2 pieces of bacon. You know, get a good quality bacon. I'm kind of partial to this. I like this right, but I also like JC Potter. Sometimes I cure my own bacon. Maybe we can do a video about that someday. It's just where I live, for whatever reason, it's hard to get pork belly. And if you do buy it, man, they want an arm and a leg for it. If you can find it. Nobody wants sell just plain pork belly anymore. Bacon's ready, sausage ready, everything ready. Get all of our mise en place, everything in place. Love those fancy French terms. Mise en place. My scrambled eggs, if you watch that video, you know I like put just a dollop of cream in my scrambled eggs. Gives them a real creamy texture that I just absolutely love. Normally I put cilantro in my burritos. I love cilantro, but it's a 50-50 thing. Half the country thinks it tastes like soap. So I decided not to include it this morning. But I'm going to drop my hash browns. And let's get started. That was way too many hash browns. But we're going to give those a little salt and pepper. And I am going to get a little sausage and bacon going here. I've already greased my pans. Figure you've know how to grease a pan. You can drop a little grease on them. Now, one thing I do that makes mine different, I will go ahead and put my bacon an onion in with it all at one time. I like my onions to be thoroughly done in my burritos. I don't want crunchy onion in there. I'm gonna give these jalapenos, I use fresh a lot. These are jarred out of a jar, so they're already soft and not gonna take as much to cook, so I'm not gonna drop them just yet. And we'll get over here, and I'm gonna move this camera and we'll take a look at how we do this. All right, back on the switch. And that's down just a little. Don't need to go a little fast. This doesn't take long at all. Already got a little. Remember what I said about the hash browns. No touchy. Don't go stirring them and flipping them until they're done. In my burritos, you want crunchy bottoms, crunchy hash browns. And I'm not going to put any seasoning into this. That's good. Way too fast on those onions. If you haven't seen my hash brown video, you need to go back and watch that. Show you how to make these restaurant style hash browns that are so good. These eggs just, I heard more oil. Just a little bit of butter. Be careful about how hot you use your butter. It's got one of the lowest smoke points. Should use clarified butter, because clarified butter has a much higher smoke point and doesn't burn like the proteins in your plain butter do. With my eggs, you just want to kind of, as they set up around the sides and whatnot, you just kind of want to fold them back into themselves as you go around. And they don't have to get thoroughly done in this pan, because they're gonna cook just a hair more after you mix everything together. See? Look how nice those are. Nice and fluffy. ones are sticking on one edge. I don't know why. Must not have got the edge. Now we're going to give just the eggs and the meat a slight sprinkle of cumin or cayenne. I like a little cayenne on there. You ever have well, cayenne gives it that kind of slow, warm sensation. If you don't get too much of it, it'll just like sneak up and warm the back of your throat while you're eating it. And just a sprinkle of cumin. Make sure all the stuff's broke up in there. Now, one thing I will do is burn my hand. This bacon and sausage has, you know, a lot of grease in it, so sometimes I'll just see how much grease I can run out of it. And you got to be careful so you don't burn yourself, but I'll just dab some of that grease out of it. Nobody wants a greasy, drippy burrito. Go ahead and throw our egg in there. You can turn that off, it's all done. Get your egg and meat and all that nice and mixed up together. A little bit of pepper. A little bit of salt. These hash browns are getting real close. I'm going to break them up a bit just to get some extra crispiness all through it. I don't know what's going on. I've got something right there on the side that's making everything stick. It never sticks in this pan. You give that just another minute to cook up, and we'll make our tortillas. We're not going to make the tortillas. I have tried making tortillas. I have a tortilla making press, but I am not near good enough at making tortillas that I'm going to show anybody how to do it. That's seems to be a skill on its own, I guess. I'm not good at it. But if you can make your own tortillas, that's a whole lot better than any store-bought tortillas, I guarantee. Spent a lot of time in Dodge City, Kansas, eating a lot of homemade tortillas out there. And they are delicious. One restaurant I go to, man, they come out, they're this freaking big. I mean, they're bigger than your plate. My wife likes little fajita-sized tortillas, so that's what we always buy. We buy a low-carb, I think they call it Balance or something like that, tortilla. Mission makes, they're only a couple carbs per tortilla, and they're actually not bad. you use them for something like this, they're not too bad. Not near as good as, you know, homemade tortillas, but actually not too bad. All right. I dropped a couple pieces of this no good for you processed cheese in the wrapper, and I use this because it melts so easy. I actually prefer the taste of cheddar, but cheddar doesn't melt worth a darn for something like this. Cheddar always seems to it's clumpy and greasy when it melts, so I use this stuff so I get a good melt on it. All right. Why something's sticking in that pan. Then you just mix her all together. I guess I shouldn't have turned that off yet. And I make this separately so that, first of all, everything's cooked right. Plus, if you make this all together, like with the potatoes in there, it makes it mushy, and I don't like mushy. I don't know why that pan's behaving that way. I'm going to show you how. My Mexican friends laugh at me for this, but I'll show you how I do my tortillas. To get my pan hot, just a spritz of Pam. And then I just run it under the tap water is what I do, but I just got one side of my tortilla wet. And what that'll do is that steam comes up through this tortilla and makes it cook real nice and makes it real soft and pliable so that you can get a good roll on it. And you do this one, and then we'll roll them up. You should probably use tongs for this. Keep from burning yourself. Alright. Okay, let's roll up a burrito and get to eating. I'm just gonna throw a healthy little chunk down on there. Make sure I get a little of all the good stuff. I love sriracha on mine. So I'm gonna give it a little squirt of sriracha. Now, the way I do it, I don't know if it's the right way. Fold your ends slightly. Give it a little curl like that. Couple fingers down there, roll that top over, and then pull it back and tuck under as best you can. Then you'll take this outside edge, roll that in like that. I don't know if you can see that. And you can give it another flip over. And there you have a nicely rolled burrito. So good. Happy eating. Happy cooking.